Questions? 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 From the start of this YouTube channel, I've been getting a ton of questions on multiple different things on this motorcycle. So what I'm going to start doing is trying to create a video series on answering those questions in much more detail than just in the comments. And this first question that I'm going to try to answer is, how is the KTM 690 SMC R on the highway?
Alright, so now that we're out on the road and headed to a little shindigio, I figure this would be a good opportunity to look at a few different things, as far as one, wind noise, as far as what RPM you're at what speed, and just an overall consensus of highway riding on the 690. I mean, it's not ideal. Just forewarning, I've done this many times and it's not the best, but let's get out there and let's get up to their speed and let's see what it's like. Sir, I don't think you're classified as a motor vehicle. And is that technically running a red light? Yeah, he's like in the middle of the road. Bruh. Yeah, let's see what these people do.
Get the fuck out!
Yeah, they don't look too happy. I wouldn't be either. Alright, so let's start at about 70. It works. Oh, I need another gear. There we go. 6th gear, 70 miles an hour. And I tell you what, it's not bad. A little bit higher, 72, 73. 6 of one, half dozen for another. But you're spinning this thing right at 4,700 RPM. Usually a red line, I would assume, and sometimes I see it right around like the 8,500 mark. So you're almost halfway there at 70 miles an hour. But vibration, I mean, nothing. I think that's a huge benefit to the 690, just because it's just such a good motor and it's so well balanced that even though it's a big single cylinder thumper, you don't feel it, especially on highway speeds like this. I mean, this is beautiful right here. 70, maybe even 75. Let's get up to there. You're 75, like, oh, it's cruising all day long. The wind isn't bad. Yeah, a windscreen would be better, but just, I mean, money. So at 75, you're at about 49. Yeah, right around like the 49.5 grand mark on the RPM range. 6 gears, 75 miles an hour, 4,980 to be specific. That's okay. Definitely not a highway bike, to say the least. Jeez. But it's comfortable. You know, you can live with it. You can do it. I wouldn't do this for extended periods of time. I mean, it's not bad, but still, it's kind of pushing it a little bit. And I'm sure it's very difficult to hear me with all the extra wind noise. Like I said, no windscreen, you get slapped around a good amount. And a helmet with a visor on it doesn't help either. The bumps are aggressive on the highway though. So why don't we kick it up another 5 miles per and see where we're at. Alright, 80 now and about 5,300 RPM. Yeah, that's screaming. It's up there. 82, 83, 84, 85, you're about 5,500 RPM. Damn! I mean, you can kind of tell that we're starting to work awfully hard to maintain this. And it just, yeah, this is, the 80, 85 starts to get a little, I don't want to say sketchy, but just, for me, uncomfortable. I try to stay away from anything in the 85 range. It's cool if you're just ripping flat out, riding it hard, but if you're trying to sit comfortably, like 80, 85, not ideal for me. I mean, it could be different for you guys. Stability wise, one thing that I have noticed about the 690 is the fact that there's no stabilizer and like a steering damper or steering stabilizer, and this thing handles awesome through the bumps and on the highway. Now, I could be wrong, and most likely am wrong, but this thing is solid. The geometry of it, oh, just on point. I've seen people put, like, you know, a Scott's damper on it or a PR damper. But truthfully, unless you're doing this all the time, I don't think you need it. I mean, this is just rock solid, 80 miles an hour, and it's awfully windy, or it could just be me, but it is straight as an arrow. No wiggles, no nothing. I mean, even over heavy bumps, I think that is awesome. I just feel like this motorcycle hates me for this.
So then to answer the question, can you ride your KTM 690 SMC R on the highway? Absolutely. Sticking in that 75 to 80 mile per hour range, maybe even a little bit lower, a nice light cruise, not getting the RPMs way too high on the bike or pushing it too much, it's a perfect ride. Of course, there's a little bit of wind, you're upright, there's no windscreen, you're not on a sport bike, so it's expected, but it's easy, it's nice, you could do it. Commuting 30, 45 minutes a day, one way, I think would be easy, a dream, it'd be perfect. But if you're going farther than that 35, 40 minutes, I would probably suggest first buying a Seat Concepts XL comfort seat because your butt starts to hurt after a while, but 100% doable, no issues with it. I do think that the 690 is built not for highway riding or cruising. It wants to go really fast, but then it also wants to slow down. And it also wants to turn left and right, and it wants the front end to come up, even though I can't do that. But it's not the best touring bike, which leads me into another question. Didn't KTM just release an 890 SMT? So like a supermoto adventure touring street bike with a twin from the 890 Duke. Interesting. I guess more questions asked next time. Until then, remember, keep riding.